So we back in commissions. Sorry about that. This space was full. So go ahead and finish. We was talking about execution.
Yeah, so I was about to speak on this executing, like from my personal experience. Every task that I've been given, like whether it be like most of the times when I've gotten tasks, it's always time critical, like for whatever reason, and being able to execute every single time, like that shows your work in itself. So now it's got to the point where, for example, I went to a different section of the program that I'm working on, right? Went to a different section of it, started focusing more in that sector, and I was getting mentored by one of the managers that's been in there for a while. So there were only three people in my department that were working that part of the program. And so I would be the fourth person, right? So coming on, I was being mentored, just being shown the process, what the day-to-day looks like, all that good stuff. And then all of a sudden, there's different levels. There's different levels. So the three guys that were working, it was actually two. I became the third. Let me clarify that. So there were two guys working this mechanical section of the program, right? Working with mechanical assemblies. Then you have systems level, which are the test integration. Right. So of the three people that were there, one of them was already focusing on the systems level. So that means only two people working the mechanical side, the mechanical assembly. So I was going to be the third to help them out and kind of float between both the systems level and the mechanical assemblies. So the guy that was mentoring me ended up, I started doing it in October. And then the guy that was mentoring me, he ended up rolling off of the program because he got another opportunity with a different program. So now I'm basically picking up on all his work. And not even really, for him, it was good because it was a different role. He was able to get a little bit more experience doing something else, more leadership stuff, right? But I didn't necessarily get left with it because he at least made sure that everything that he was supposed to take care of before he rolled off was done. So I wasn't really just sitting there with all his back work. But just saying that once he rolled off, I became the main point of contact now. So now I'm the main point of contact for a lot of different stuff. So now it's to the point now where, but because I've executed so on everything that I've been done, that was done up to that point, nobody has a problem coming to me for different issues, even if they're like one of those one-off issues where it doesn't really occur like that, but it's like we just need help because we don't know what to do.
Yep.
So we just need somebody who we need to know how we're gonna document this properly and make sure we do this stuff just the right way.
Like, so, am I tripping, or like whenever you got like your opportunity, your job, did you expect like whenever people say something like they're gonna do it like as like a normal thing?
Yeah, I did.
I was expecting that too, but like when you get there, you realize like most people literally just don't do what they say, and that's regular. Like that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Like you could get away with that. But me as Elgin Woodside, I do not settle for average. I do not settle for acceptable. Anything I do, I put my mind to, put my hands on, is going to get done to the best of its ability. So the fact that someone could go to sleep at night just saying stuff and not doing it and being okay with it, and then don't even follow up. I can understand if you got to change the course, like I was going to do it, but this happened. You
just leave it there. Like you don't need no communication. There's no communication.
And that translates to other aspects of your life. So now when you go home, you got that same half-ass mentality.
Yeah.
So you giving that to your wife. You giving that to your kids.
Yeah, that's a big no-no, man. And that's why I've always appreciated you, because anything you said you was going to do, you did it. Anything I said I was going to do, I did it. And then we also held each other accountable. So, like, just for example on that, you, like, morning before we had a workout, you like, bro, I'm going to wake up at 4 o'clock. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. Like, you know me, I wasn't even a morning person at that point. So I'm like, So I really, because you were there and you were already in that mode, you already had, like, you were already a morning person, you know what I'm saying? So being with you, living with you for those 10 months out of the year really really helped me and my growth to really like step up my game, because now it gets to a point where it's like, okay, every time we said he's going to get up, he got up and he woke me up.
Bro,
To the point where then it was like, there were times where you didn't, and I did
I take
that.
so much pride in that. Like, and I appreciate you, you know, saying that inspired you, bro. Cause like, that's literally, I don't do it for, you know, the recognition. I don't do it for so people can see what I'm doing. I literally do it because I have to get that win. I have to be consistent. If I don't do that, then I feel like I'm not living to my fullest self. I'm not being what God called me to be. God called me to be a leader. So why would I act in any other manner? You feel me? So it's just a way of life. It's when you make it a way of life, it's not even optional no more.
Facts. That's a big fact, man. But you know, just like, but that biggest thing, just the whole takeaway from that is like, people, if you say you're gonna do something, just do it, execute. And that's like, and just execute on what you said you're gonna do. And I'm not even talking to,
even if you don't want to do it, just do it.
But I'm not even to like other people, or I'm talking about for yourself now. Like,
exactly.
You have to, that's the most important thing. If you tell yourself you're gonna do something, if you write something down, say, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this thing. These are 3 things I'm gonna do today. You better get those 3 things done, because all you're gonna have is gonna keep rolling over.
So good. When you do them, you're gonna feel great.
That's a fact.
You're gonna feel like you conquered the world by doing 3 little things that you said but you're just so used to not doing it, like writing them down or like just saying it in your head and then not doing it. You don't even remember what it feel like to complete a task anymore that you said that you was
right,
because you're so consistent in the not doing it. So once you get in that flow and keep doing it, it's like, dang, it's like a whole different part of your mind going to open up, and it's like, wow, like this is what it feels like to actually execute every single day, or like to do what I said I was going to do. Like, I didn't even realize I was living in this state of mind because it became routine.
Right, and it just like all that stuff just feeds into your day-to-day life, bro. It could be something as simple. You say you're gonna wash your clothes today, you're gonna go clean the kitchen up today, like, because you don't know, like, when you complete those tasks, like you were saying, it's like, whoa, I really completed these things. And then before you know it, now you get in the habit of completing tasks every day. And before you know it, these bigger goals that you have get closer and closer with the little tasks that you do. Exactly. Like, to the point where, like, I just opened my business account, right? And I kept saying I was going to do it. I kept saying it for a long time that I was going to do it. Then I finally started taking initiative and said, okay, I'm going to go do this today. I'm gonna go to the bank. I just go to the bank and just see what you need. What information. Just go to the bank and say, hey, what information do I need to open a business account? That was the first step.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, boom. Next week, now I'm like, okay, now I need this, this, and this. So they broke it down to me what I need. I needed my EIN. I needed my registration paperwork. My LLC is registered in Louisiana, so I had to do register as a foreign LLC. So I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then there was just certain things that they needed. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I only need this, and that. Now the next thing is to go back online, go back home, and go register your stuff.
Exactly.
Boom. Now that's another task completed. And now to the point where now I saw it open up.
Small steps, bro. It could be something so small just to get your foot in the door, and literally that momentum is just gonna carry you through the whole task. The hardest part is getting started. That's always
that's the hardest part.
Every time.
Now, one thing, let's talk about the process. Let's talk about the process of what it took to get to where we at in our full-time careers, right? Or until our careers. Like, what did, like, for you, I want to hear your take on, for you, with some of your experiences, about what it, like, mentally and, like, physically, right? As far as the process of what you had to go through, like, from maybe, let's say, but let's start from once we got in school. Like, just like, let's expound on a couple things, like, as far as the growth from that, like, from where you started to where you at once you actually got into school.
Right, yeah. So, like, when I first got into school as an engineer, I didn't realize how tough it was going to be. I was not mentally prepared for it. I went to a really good high school, one of the top high schools in Louisiana, magnet school in Gretna, and it prepared you for college. But when you get to college, bro, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how many college prep courses, ACT prep, or whatever you do, bro. that's a whole different animal because you got parties every night, you got good looking women, you got some alcohol, and you got other things. So being disciplined is probably the number one thing that you got to do to get past that in college. And I feel like that was one thing I struggled with when I first got there. Is finding the balance, and then to add that we was athletes too, bro. Trying to figure out how to be a college athlete and be an engineer. Come on, man. But so like the wake up call I had was in my first class, which was calculus. That was my very first class. I took the first test. I thought I was gonna get by, just studying like a regular high school student. Just got into college. So I get the grade back where I got a 30. I ain't never got a 30 in my life in nothing. I looked at that paper. I said, boy, I know you, like, this is not me. I was like, this is not me. Like, and then ever since that day, bro, you already know, we was in Foster. This is the engineering building. We was in the engineering building every single night to about midnight, at least midnight, if not the whole day studying, bro. If a test was coming up, boy, we was in that bit till the test came. We wasn't leaving until we really got the problem
right. Knew the information.
Bro, we was not leaving until we got the problem right, bro. And that's the attitude you gotta have, bro. You gotta have that dog. Like, I'm not a 30. You trying to tell me I'm 30? Like, no, I'm 100. I'm an A every time, bro. I'm guaranteed. So that's how you gotta attack it, bro.
Right. For sure, man. And just speaking on
shoot, bro. You gotta tell me because you feel me? We went through the same process, bro. So
we went through the same process.
I want to know from your perspective what was your wake up call? Like, what was your what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So just my background, like, let's go like right before high school, mind you. I was a straight A student. I was valedictorian in my class.
Right.
I was the val for my class. So I'm coming off a 4.3 GPA.
Yeah, I ain't have a
nice little AC. Look.
I ain't have on it.
Look, I'm coming off of that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't necessarily. I think my wake up call was really junior year. That was my wake up call. Because for some reason, like I always did good at school. I was always able to kind of balance it. So our freshman and sophomore year, it was still kind of like the basic high school kind of classes. They threw a couple engineering courses in there every now and again, but it wasn't like the stuff that you really needed to know as far as what an engineer needs to know from a mechanical standpoint, right? So there was the balance. Mind you, like we did have to have that balance or whatever. My wake-up call was my junior year. And I think we were, at least it's the one I can't remember, bro, because there's so many instances that we had to wake up. But I think that I think it was strength and analysis. I think it was Dr. Zane. I think that was my wake up call. This was junior year.
Strength materials.
Strength and materials. Strength and materials. What it was. Yep. Strength and materials.
That was
strength and materials. Man. So look, strength and materials class. First test in there. And the information is like, okay, I understand the information. It's not the content. I'm like, okay, I'm understanding. Become test. After we take the test, take our first test, our first exam. I get mine back. I think I had a 50. Like a 50 something. And like, mind you, like even my first 2 years of school, like my first year of school, I had a 4.0. My first year of college, I had a 4.0.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. You had won the academic student athlete award.
Yeah, so I had a 4.0, and then I think sophomore year I might have had like a 3.9 or 3.8 or something, some crazy stuff. So I was still up there. So I'm like, okay, cool. The lowest I might have had on a score was like a B or something, but I still had A's, right? So coming to this class, I get this F, and I'm like, hold up, bro. What's going on? Like you said, you look at that 30, and you was like, 30, like 30, like I look at that, that's a 50. So I ain't never seen it. I said, I ain't never seen this in my life. 50, what is this? 50 what? Like 50 points? Like what? Like what is this? 50 points? Like what's going on? No. Bro, and then when I tell you, but it was like, but the crazy part is, everybody in that class everybody in that class had low scores too. So I'm like, bro, what's really going on?
He hit you
Like,
with
what's
the
really
curve.
going on? Like with the curve, yeah. And I think there was only one person that made it in the class. Anyways,
They always got one person that messed the curve up though.
And whose name shall not be named.
Yep, I already know who it is.
Whose name shall not be named. But
she go hard too.
Yeah, she hard. but like thinking about it, like that next day when I was like, bro, I can't. It's not me. I'm like, you know what? Like you said, after that, we was literally in the engineering building. After that, like that same night. And matter of fact, I think we both got low scores on that first exam, and we went to his office right after the class.
Yeah, I remember.
We went to his office right after the class and was like, hey, we missed this and this. Can you go over what it was exactly that we did wrong so we can know to do better next time? And we was in there for like, me and you were both in there for at least 2 hours, like going over the entire test.
Bro, but like
really,
I think people, that's what people miss, bro. Like, yeah, you go to the class, you're supposed to learn, but like it's not the teacher's obligation to make sure that you retain or understand the information, bro. You gotta go to the office hours. You have to, and that's in any aspect of life. We talking about school, but we talking about life, because you got teachers in life in different aspects. Your supervisor is technically like your teacher, but they not responsible for you getting your job done. But they got to answer to the person whenever you fail, the same way the teacher got to answer to, the administrator whenever he got too many people failing. But you have to take the responsibility and accountability for yourself to go out and take that extra step to go to the office hours and really get the step-by-step process on how it works. Because nobody about to spoon feed you or read your mind and expect you to not understand. When they say it, they if you don't got no questions, they think you good.
Right. Like my favorite saying: "Closed mouth don't get fed." Closed mouths do not get fed. So if you want to eat, if you want to do that, you gotta be aggressive.
You got to be, bro. That's the only way to live, bro. You can't. You do not want to go to sleep at night or die. I always go to the extreme. That's why I said go to sleep at night first. But you don't want to go to sleep at night and then in your dreams you like, dang, like I wish I would have said this one thing, or like I wish I would have asked this question to him when I had the opportunity, because you might not get that chance again to ask that question, bro. And once that window closed, ain't no reopening it sometimes. So whenever that opportunity presents itself or you got a question, bro, do not be scared to say something, bro. Do not. That's what's gonna separate you right there.
Right. And from all those experiences in school of going, taking that extra time and that extra effort to go to those office hours, or even to ask my peers. Like now you go to talk to your peers. Like, hey, bro, what did you get right? What did you get wrong? Hey, you trying to study? Like, hey, bro, we all failed this. Can we let's all get together and really study? And that's where the study group came from. We was in there every night.
Exactly. And then what we did right after we got the information from Zane, we went to engineering building that night, rewrote all of that, and then we had our classmates come and learn from us, bro.
Exactly. So it's like, but think about it, like at the root of it, it's like, oh, what if we wouldn't have went and did that? Everybody still would have been struggling. Like,
exactly, bro.
It only takes that one person or that one type of mindset to really shift the paradigm for real. It takes one decision to shift your paradigm. Because literally, like, even for me, like, okay, now let's get real. Now we in real life now. So now we're talking real life. I was in an apartment, right? In an apartment that I felt I was paying too much money for. Moved out, downgraded to a studio because I'm like, look, I ain't paying all this for an apartment. Boom. Moved into the apartment. Let's say I moved into the apartment in December. I went back home for like a month and a half, came back, started living in there, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm staying here for a little bit, temporary things, right? But then as I was going through it, and I was like, the more issues started coming up with that apartment, right? And then I was like, bruh, like, this is not it. Like, I do not want to be in this space. And then that's when I asked my old lady to say, like, look, let's go live together. Like, cause this we here, like we do this long distance thing, boom. Let's just make this thing work. Come out here, we're gonna make it work. thing. So now I put myself in a position to like, okay, you're a lady here. Now you're in this apartment that you don't even want to be in. What you gonna do? What decision you gonna make?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna sit here and just let it be what it is, or you gonna go out and take the initiative to go find somewhere to go be at where y'all can actually be in a position to actually thrive and strive and be where y'all want to be at. Now, like I'm talking about this thing probably like the room was probably a little bit bigger than this balcony, dog. Maybe a little bit wide. I ain't gonna exaggerate like that, but it was super small, bro. Like being real transparent, bro. It was really, really small, bro. Cool for one person, but you got two people in there, bro. You can't do that, bro. So it was like if I wouldn't have made that decision, right, to say, hey, let me put myself in a better position to thrive, then I wouldn't be where I'm at. And as soon as I made that decision, right, stuff just been lining up. Just off of one decision, though, leading back into going and take the extra time to go to the office hours.
Mm-hmm.
One decision can shift because life can change like that, but it's all about a decision that you make. So just no matter what the circumstance, just know that you can change your circumstances. And we all start in different places, right? We all start in different places, bro. But guess what? Everybody had to make a decision. You think these millionaires, like, they just got there, like, overnight? Like, nah, it's going to seem like it was overnight because they just popped out with it. But you don't realize the type of grind, the type of consistency, the type of discipline that they had to be able to make that much money.
Son, so you
look at Jeff Bezos.
Telling me right now we can change our circumstances? Boy, you better go on somewhere.
Nah, I'm serious, bro. Like, I've literally, bro, like being what I like, bruh. I done seen my mama do it, bro. That's what made me realize I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, that's who started up. I never saw her complain about any position that we was in. I just started seeing stuff changing to the point where we was living in a little shotgun. You feel me? Maybe 2 rooms. You feel me? In the shotgun, and then all of a sudden we living in the house the next 2 years later. We living in the house 2 years later.
Just that,
in a whole house vision, with upstairs, downstairs.
That vision,
right?
Acting on it. You can have a vision, but you gotta act on that. Boy, that
exactly.
Mother leave if you don't act on it.
Exactly. And who knows if I wouldn't have acted on it, you know what I'm saying, made that decision, like I'm talking about, it was real abrupt. Just like it was a real abrupt decision for me to dip out of my first apartment into the studio. It was an abrupt decision for me to leave the studio and go find somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, you gotta know your position can always change and shift. But in order to have control of it, you have to have that mindset that you have to have that mindset that no matter what happens, you're gonna be fine. And guess where that comes from? Your faith. So you have to have faith in something for something to work, because you got to know that we are not in control of any of this that's going on in this world right now. There's only one person that controls it, and y'all know who it is. So it's like we just have to do what we can do with what's in front of us, and that comes with now leading back to what we was talking about before, appreciating and taking advantage of what's in front of you. Exactly. Because that's the only thing you have control over, and you barely have control over that. But it's about what you do with it, because God just plants stuff in. He just plants stuff in front of us to see what we're gonna do with it. Everything is a test, bro. Everything is a test.
Crazy.
Everything is a test, dog. Even if it's like you say you get I had a dog when I went to school. All of a sudden I had a fucking dog when I went to school. Had a dog. It's like, okay, I'm taking care of this dog now. Now this dog is mine. You feel me? And it's like, what you gonna do? Like this, like I felt like having a dog in school while I was there was like, this is the precursor of like what it takes to really take care of somebody like at this time. So everything is a learning lesson. You have to have change of perspective on different things. You see what I'm saying? To really be able to take the most out of your circumstances, you can't look for all the negatives, all the wrongs in whatever your situation is. You have to change your perspective, right? To say, like, I'm going through this for a reason. What am I supposed to be taking out of this circumstance right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to be learning right now?
That's crazy, bro. You hit on a lot of things, bro. That was great. There was one thing, like going back to the main focus. Well, the main thing that we was talking about was the office hours. like what a lot of people don't understand is that you not going to your office hours is what's blocking you from blessing other people as well. Like how we said we went to them office hours and then we went to the engineering building. And then people see us in the engineering building, now they're like, dang, like y'all understand that? Like they'll literally walk in and like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Be like, hell yeah, we
know how to do this.
Come sit down and rewrite it. They're like, dang, I get it. And then they call a friend, boom. They're like, oh yeah, Elgin Christian know how to do it, bro. Come on. Now you got the whole class in there. And we, bro, literally that next test, everybody passed, bro.
Literally, the whole entire class.
Like everybody was like, bro, thank y'all. And it's like, you not taking that extra step. Who else that's attached to you that you don't even know? Who are you harming by not doing that?
Man, that's a big one right there. Like now let's take it personally. Take it personally now. Now you gotta take it personal. Okay, now if I'm not taking the initiative to better myself and to take that initiative to do what I need to do, like you said, who else am I attached to that's going to be affecting? You feel me? Like if for those people that have kids, what if you're not taking the extra step to bet on yourself, right? And to really invest in yourself, like how's that going to affect your kids? Like me, like I have 3 little sisters and a mother that's way back in Louisiana. So by me not handling my business out here and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes my way, what am I showing them?
Right.
What am I really showing them for real? You feel me? Because that move was up too. You know, and that was a whole process in itself just to get out here. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Like a whole process. You know what I'm saying? I can go into that too, but I'm gonna have to save that one for later because it's like, but thinking about it, it's like, but people will never know until like we have this conversation like this right here. People just think that when they see people in a certain position and they doing good, like you see IG posts, whatever, like they just think, oh yeah, bro, they been doing this, yeah, bro. But like, nah, bro, like there's a lot that happened by the time we left school and the time where we at right now. That's only 2 years, bro.
Throughout this podcast, y'all gonna hear some crazy stories, but they gonna come out naturally whenever it's time for them to come out.
Right.
Whenever the time is right, they're gonna come out. But just know that by always we have had our shortcomings, bro. We have had a lot of tribulations, bro. So don't think we just be on this straight path to success our whole life, bro. I done been knocked out a few times, but hey, we always get back up every time.
Hey man, the path to success is never straight. It never is. You gotta go through some things. You gotta take a couple B lines, a couple zigzags. You know, you gotta run a couple post routes. Mm-hmm. You feel me? All that, like just to get to the goal. But just know it's not about. Don't focus on what path you're taking. Focus on what's on the path while you're taking it. Like, don't focus on like just because I gotta go all the way around. Don't focus on all the way. Like, think about this. You get to a fork in the road, right? You trying to go to point A. You're trying to get to point A. And you following the path on your GPS and it's telling you to walk straight until you get to this fork in the road. Right? Now, you go to the right, you don't know what's to the left or to the right, but you know you just gotta pick one because you can't go straight. So now you say you go to the right, boom. You know what I'm saying? And like if you just sitting there complaining like the whole time, like while you taking this path, it's like you're not even realizing you're not realizing what you passing up by focusing on the fact that you couldn't do what you wanted to do. Like you're missing out on all the scenery. You could be seeing the most beautiful things in this world, but because of the fact that you focused on some other stuff, some little minute stuff, because you had to take a different path, you're missing out on what you're supposed to be getting out of it. For real. Like you're missing out on it. Like another real quick example, bro. Like take you drive on the highway through a storm.
You giving too much heat, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
But look, bro, like think about it like this. Like there was a story that I listen to. If you ever listen, go to Justin Owens. Justin Owens on Apple Music. Justin Owens, he go about the story about driving through the storm, right? He said a man was driving with his son, teaching his son how to drive. And it was raining, it was storming outside. He couldn't see nothing. So he's driving, and the son is like, Dad, I think I need to pull over. And his dad was like, nah, keep going. He's like, nah, keep going. And so he's seeing other people with their hazard lights on, pulling over, water, yada, 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 woo, woo, right? Everybody's pulling over. He passing up people. And he like, Dad, you sure? I can't see nothing, whatever. He's like, look, just keep going forward. Boom. Eventually, the storm passes, right? And then he tells the son, go ahead, pull over. They get out the car. And he's like, what was the difference? Well, what basically he asked him, what did you learn, or what did you learn out of that situation? Right? And the dad basically said, sometimes in life, like when you look back, you realize you have to just keep driving through the storm, because guess what? The dad said, those people that pulled over in the storm, they still left. We over here, we on the other side of the storm. So if you wouldn't have kept going, you wouldn't have made it through the storm. And that wasn't verbatim. Don't take that verbatim. I just did it as best as I can, but just to like encompass it all for you and put it in perspective. If he wouldn't have kept driving through the storm, he would have still been back there, because it's still raining back there. People still pulled over there. So think about that in your life. Whenever you're going through trials and tribulations, don't stop because you
the very thing that you're trying to get away from, the situation that you don't want to be in, you're sitting in it instead of moving through it. Bro, that's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right, exactly. You see what I'm saying? So just to take that away, just the big takeaway is, man, whatever situation you in, good, bad, whatever, just keep moving. Like, continue to focus on the next thing. And honestly, I can speak for myself, that that's how I've gotten to this level of success. But even this isn't even the level of success that I want to be at. Some people may look at me and say, oh, he got it, like, or like he's doing really well. But like in my mind, I'm like, bro, I'm not even close. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep moving regardless. You see what I'm saying? Because I know I got bigger and better waiting on me. Because like, even where I'm at right now is not where I'm meant to be, because I know God promised me way more than what I'm in the situation I'm in right now. You see what I'm saying? He already promised that, but he always looking for you to, like he said, office hours. You gotta have office hours with him, bro. You gotta go to him every now and again, bro. You got to.
That's gonna be
gonna give you.
That's gonna be a name episode. Office hours.
Office hours. Get your office hours in, bro.
Episode 1.
Because if you don't, you ain't gonna learn. You ain't gonna learn nothing if you don't go to the office hours. Because there's no way that if you go through any lecture, through any lesson, that you just understand every single thing. We always have a question about something. There's gonna be a question about something. Nobody understands every single thing every single time. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I think that's enough heat for them, bro. For the day. That was a lot.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. Look, man. We just here to provide, bro.
On the second half.
We got real exclusive.
Yeah.
Real exclusive. Hey, man, this is good, bro. I'm messing with it, bro. Like, this is real deal. This is it. This is what it is, man. Because look, and I forgot that we was even sitting here doing the podcast. Like, that's what I forgot. I forgot we was sitting here doing it, bro. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Like, we just sitting here joking, like, but like, this some real life stuff, though. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. I appreciate you asking me to do this with you, bro. For real, that means a lot to me. For real.
I could do this on my own, but like, in order for, I'm big on giving value to the audience. So like, if I know you, bro, and I know that your talents, and I know what you're really strong at, and this is something that you're very, very strong. So why would I not call my brother and give the audience even more value than just me trying to do it on my own?
Right.
And then plus we do too much together, bro. Like, we can bounce a bunch of stories and situations off each other that happen, bro, and we gonna remember things, and it's gonna bring it back to us so that we,
right. Right. There's probably a bunch of stuff you remember that I don't remember.
Yeah, you can forget a lot of lessons, bro.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, because like just us having this conversation, like now, like I'm kind of remembering stuff that happened in the past, and it's like getting back up there.
Right. Yeah. It's always there. It's always sitting there. It's just dormant for real. It's just in the back of the mind. Mm-hmm. For real. But
talk more and more, they're gonna keep coming like more and
keep
more.
Popping up. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm messing with it though. This is good, bro. Yeah. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I did get in like a little zone for that last few minutes.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. So I appreciate everybody who listened, and that was me and my brother first pod, the Workman Podcast. Share with your friends, or if you got any feedback, leave a review, leave a any questions, hit us up on Instagram. You can follow me at Elgin Woodside _ and you
can follow me at _ millionaire Chris 24 on Instagram.
You can join my text community. Shoot me any text. We do mindset building and wealth building. So we got a stock group, we got a real estate group, mindset quote group. So text me anything. I'll put you in whatever group you want to be added to. Ask me for the list. I'll shoot you the list of the groups. So that number is 504-732-8799. So you guys have a good one. Thank y'all.